afternoon, everybody, and welcome to How to Create School Spiritware Fundraisers. I'm Courtney Kubitza with Stahls TV, and today I'm going to be talking about some of the best practices and tips for creating school fundraisers. When it comes to selling school apparel or selling to schools, fundraising in the fundraising industry is actually a $3.2 billion industry, and 92% of schools cite that they use fundraising to help generate revenue for team sports, for uniforms, for equipment, for group trips and events, and a variety of things that happen at the school. Now, if you've been involved in schools, you likely know that a lot of these fundraisers tend to be things like candy bars or chocolates of some sort or some kind of tumblers or knickknacks or something like that where they're looking to generate revenue with cookie dough, pizza, edible foods. And so there's a lot of profit opportunity for schools in that from a margin perspective, but when it comes to looking outside of the box, spiritware and school apparel is actually one of those things that provides a greater opportunity for schools to make profit because it allows them to make a higher dollar amount on the items that they're selling, and it also helps them to be able to sell more products because they're not isolating anybody from being able to wear the apparel. People that can buy apparel to be able to wear it to support their kids or their students. Teachers can buy it, other people in the local organization, so it's a big profitable opportunity. Today, specifically, what I'm going to be talking about is, first off, I'm going to share some tips for finding schools. So if you're just new to this industry and you're not selling to schools yet, we're going to talk about different ways you can find schools and how to reach them. Once we get through that, we're going to talk about best practices for setting your pricing, setting rules, and setting yourself up for success. Also, we'll share ways to go about presenting products and creating samples and going into the schools and actually selling and making it a successful fundraising opportunity for the school and yourself. And so I think everybody here, those of you that are attending today, I'm sure you want to know everything about fundraising because you already see it as a lucrative opportunity. Parents obviously want to buy plenty of spiritware items for their kids, so it's a great way for them to be able to do that. And it's also a great way for you to start increasing your sales without having to go about different marketing aspects or different sales aspects, because instead of hiring new salespeople or going out and investing in new marketing, you're basically going to use the school as a sales agent and those students to be able to sell your products. They'll make a profit, so it's beneficial to the school and for them, and you'll make a profit as well in return. And so it's just a really great opportunity. And so the first things first, let's talk a little bit about how to find schools. When you're getting started, finding schools and looking at who you can contact in your organization. So for finding schools, I'd recommend looking at built-in connections in your local community. So first, you're going to want to start local, you're going to want to move to regional. There's usually a lot of different groups within schools that we'll talk about today that purchase products, and so it could be a football team or a booster team there, it could be a PTA president or PTO president, it could be somebody at the school, maybe a teacher who runs a certain group that's going to be doing fundraising. So there's a lot of different contacts and principals that you'll be working with. So to find those people, first you're going to want to use built-in connections if you have them, because that's the easiest way to get your foot in the door. Maybe you have a student or child or niece and nephew that is at the school that can help get you connected there. Maybe you have a neighbor or somebody who's local that can help you get to the right person. That'll help you within your actual community. Now, you could also conduct an online search. This is highly recommended, especially if you're going outside of your local community to maybe more regional schools, somewhere where you don't have those built-in connections. So just a simple Google search is a great way to start looking at, first off, creating your list of schools in your area. And then secondly, you want to use that online search to go into the school's websites and find a contact. One thing I recommend is finding the right contact at the school. As I mentioned, the person who does the purchasing for fundraising or that makes the decisions for spiritware is often a different person at different schools, and they change out often every year as well, so that's something to keep in mind. If you've presented this once and maybe it wasn't well received, coming back with a new offer and being able to show them the new profit opportunity that we'll establish here shortly. So finding the right contact, you can do that through an online search on the school's website, being able to simply look for maybe a principal contact or an administrator contact that you can reach out to. Something as simple as a phone call to them, making contact and saying, hey, I do spiritware fundraisers, I think I can help your school make a lot of money. can you tell me who I can speak to? Contacting the principal, maybe sending them an email. I know many apparel decorators that do this and have success with getting response back from educators and principals because they're always looking to help and help the school out. And so just put yourself in a position to go ahead and show how you're going to help the school and help them profit as well by getting a contact name. Next, you're going to want to, after you make a contact at the school, you're going to want to spread the word to other organizations within the school. And so if you're selling and reaching out to a booster member of the football team that you want to sell some spirit wear for them, then you're going to want to go ahead to maybe another local group. Is there anybody else in your school that does fundraising? Maybe a choir group is going on an event or a trip and they need to do fundraising. Maybe they would be able to sell some school apparel as well. And just start to get referrals and spreading the word to other organizations so you can profit as well. So those are some things to consider as you're getting started. Look for how to get a hold of the schools in your area, create a list of those schools, look online, find the right contact. You can even go outside the box and find a contact through maybe a Facebook group. A lot of schools have local Facebook groups where parents and educators are in the group and they're kind of communicating about things at the school, letting the parents know and updating them on different things. So you could easily go into that group and just let them know, hey, I do t-shirts, I'm looking to do some fundraisers. Does anybody know who I would contact at the school? And you'll often get some great response there as well. So once we're started, we have our schools. This is where we're really going to talk about the meat of the presentation. So I'm going to share some best practices for crafting your offer, how to establish the profit opportunity for the school, how to set rules and guidelines so that the school is successful as well as yourself, and then we'll put these into place and I'll show you an example of how to execute this through your school fundraising program. So the first thing we want to do is we want to craft our offer. Here is where we are going to establish the profit opportunity for the school, let them know the commissions and the pricing and how that's going to be worked. We'll also let them know things like, how will I get paid? Who's going to collect the money? How are we going to go about taking orders? Setting those rules and those guidelines. So pricing, commission, profit opportunity, this is where a lot of the questions lead into when you're setting up a school fundraising program. How much do I charge for the items? Or if I charge wholesale prices for the items, or do I sell retail prices for the items? I don't want to devalue my business, but I want to make sure I'm making profit and the school's making profit. And there's a lot of questions to ask whenever you're establishing pricing, especially for a new sales channel like this, because you want to set your selling price, or the selling price for the actual item from the school to the end user, as something that's profitable for you and for the school. And you want to make sure that you're taking the commission that the school is going to be taking into consideration. And so I want to show you a calculator resource that we have available on stahlstv.com that you'll have access to. It's completely free on the website. If you go to the stahlstv.com website, underneath the Resources, Online Resources tab, you'll find yourself at the page that you're looking at here on my screen. There's a variety of online resources, all free for you to access. But if you scroll down, you'll notice there's a resource here that says Fundraising with T-shirts. Got a picture of Josh and Zach from a morning show episode that we had done on fundraising. It actually has a complete folder of things you can download for setting a pricing calculator, some flyers, and some presentation tools as well. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what would come in that folder from stahlstv.com, and that thing I want to show you is going to be a sample profit calculator. Something like this to set up for your business is going to be incredibly valuable because it's going to allow you to make sure you're making profit on the items that you're selling and that the school's also making profit on the items that you're selling. And so this is an example of one that's been completed with the item number, the vendors. This makes it easy for me to order, just having everything in place. And then you also want to take your cost into consideration. So when you set up, just like any job that you order or that you create in your business when you're pricing it, you want to have certain variables in place for costing the item that you're selling. So let's say this example here is a girl's long sleeve zip up hoodie from Cabio. It's going to be $8. My design cost is going to cost me a little over $1. You want to include any overhead, labor, or transfer costs, anything that you have in your actual cost per garment in the full cost. The next thing you want to do is you want to make sure that when you set your list price, when you set your list price, you're able to set yourself up with the ability to give enough of the commission for the max commission. So I'm going to show you here shortly a way to set up your commission percentage so that it varies, so that the more the school sells, the more they make, and it helps to incentivize them to sell even more. And so I want to make sure that if I have to sell this and give them the full max discount, which for this example is going to be a 30% commission, so they'll make 30% off of all the items they sell at this maximum amount, then I want to make sure if I'm taking $9 or 30% off of my list price that they're going to sell everything for, I'm still making a profit. And so here I can see that basically I'm going to list the pricing for the school, and you want to make sure that you're setting the pricing. One flaw that I see a lot of decorators doing when they start fundraising programs is they give the school the chance to set their pricing, and then what it does is it devalues the cost of a decorated garment, because you or a lot of other decorators can command a certain price, but the school may want to take it down a little bit, or they may not know because they don't have the industry knowledge of what is the best price for a garment. So I recommend that you say $30 is a list price for this hooded sweatshirt, and then that way when they sell it at that price, they're going to definitely make the commission, the $9 off of that, or if it's only 10% commission because they didn't sell as much, then they're only going to make $3 off of that sale. But that way you know that you're set up to make profit as well as them for the items that they're selling. And so this helps to safeguard you to make sure you're still making a profit on all of the items that you're selling within this. So definitely take advantage of this calculator, set it up for your specific jobs and your specific items that you're going to be selling. Put your list pricing in there and always list it at a retail price, something that you would sell in a retail location, because although you consider this wholesale because it is bulk garments, it's going to be sold in a retail price structure simply because you're allowing for the extra commissions that are allowed in fundraising. And that's why, if you've noticed, when you buy things in fundraisers, they tend to be more expensive than they would be if you bought them in maybe a grocery store or something, using a popcorn or cookie dough example of things that people sell for fundraisers. So that's some tips for setting up your pricing for your specific school fundraiser. I'm going to go ahead back to the presentation here now and talk a little bit setting your about commission percentages. So you want to set the commission percentage for the school that varies based on the amount they sell. As I mentioned, what this is going to do is it's basically going to allow you to encourage them to sell more to profit more. So we'll show you an example when we put this all in place here shortly, but I may start it as low as 10 or 15% of sales. So I may say, if you sell less than $1,000 in spiritware sales, you're only going to get 10% of the profit. Now, if you sell, let's say, $8,000 of the spiritware sales in your fundraiser, then I'm going to allow you to take 30% of the sales. And so that helps to set them up with a structure that as they continue to hit different levels, maybe they sell $1,000, $2,000, $4,000, as they sell more, they stand to make more profit or more percentage of the sales. And so it just like working with sales reps, you're incentivizing them to want to work harder and to want to sell more so they can make more money for their school and for their trip or their equipment. The other thing that you want to do, and this is really first when you're leading into the school, is establishing a profit opportunity by showing the school the dollar amount rather than the margin percentage that they'll be making. So one thing that a lot of fundraisers do, if you're competing, maybe you're going to a school for the first time to pitch to them to do a spiritware fundraiser. One thing that a lot of fundraisers do is that they show the margin percentage that they're going to make off the sale of their items. And you're going to do that as well when you're showing them how much they can make of the sales, 15% of sales, 30% of sales. But keep in mind that 30% of a $30 zip-up jacket is a lot more than 70% of a $3 candy bar. So they're going to make a lot more profit in a dollar amount. They just won't be making as much of a margin percentage. And you want to make sure when you're presenting the opportunity that they stand to see dollar per dollar how much they can make in sales off of the items that they're selling. And so that's really great for establishing that profit opportunity as well. The other thing that you want to do that's really going to set you and the school up for success and just make this program completely seamless is establishing rules and guidelines for getting started. So the first thing you want to do is outline the ordering dates and the cutoffs for production. This is specifically for you. This is going to allow them to run the flash sale for X amount of days, and for them to know that when the cutoff happens, then you can no longer take orders. This helps to safeguard against people coming back and wanting one-off garments, especially if you're doing bulk production with screen printing or screen printed transfers and you're ordering bulk transfers. This way you don't have to continually go back and take that cost of ordering one more garment, one more blank, and taking all that freight cost of ordering one more. It's clearly outlining these are the only dates we can take orders. After this production, we're no longer able to honor this pricing or honor this sale. And if you want to continue to offer the garments in the sale, you can do so maybe in your online store or within your brick and mortar shop, and you can provide them to them, but they may have to pay an additional fee to be able to have that custom shirt done outside of this flash sale or outside of this fundraiser that you're creating. You also want to list any production turnaround or shipping details. So you want to be as clear and concise as possible, letting them know once the order closes on this date, it'll take me exactly X amount of days to produce these and turn them around to you. So if it's going to take me 10 to 14 days to produce this order, I want to make sure that's included in the letter and the offer that I'm presenting to the school. Also, how are they going to get the items? Are you going to hand deliver them to the school? Will they be shipped? Will they be picking them up at your store? All of that needs to be outlined as well so that there's no miscommunication as you're running the school fundraiser. You also want to define how orders will be taken, and we're going to talk a little bit about processing orders, taking orders, and defining how the money will be collected. This is going to vary depending on your sales model, how many school fundraisers you're going to be doing, and how you're setting up order taking. So who's going to be taking the orders? It's going to always be the school, the students, but will they be doing it through a paper form? Will they be doing it online? Who's going to collect the money? All of this also has to be outlined as you're setting up your shop for success. And so you need to decide on the ordering process that you want to run with. And so a lot of schools starting out will go with a standard order form, paper flyers. That allows them to go ahead and distribute order forms, distribute the flyers throughout the school, makes it an easy order process because it's paper, but what it does is it also makes somebody in charge of collecting the money and turning it into the shop. And so it does have a little bit more handling, makes it a little bit more of a stressful situation for the actual teams, the boosters, because they're in charge of collecting that money and turning it into you. So that's one opportunity. If you're just getting started and this is maybe a first time for you starting school fundraisers, I'd recommend probably going this route because that's the least expensive and the less risk that you have involved. Now there's another opportunity for you to actually set up online ordering with affiliate stores or with fundraising stores where people can go to a website and it can be specific to their school, specific to their fundraiser, and select the products. They can, all of the ordering, everything for managing the orders, everything for taking the orders, everything for promoting it, everything that's involved with the order taking process is handled online, and the school doesn't really ever have to handle any money. It's really a stress-free and carefree way. So if you're going to do a lot of fundraisers, I'd look at probably setting up a program like this. Deco Network has a lot of great opportunities on their platform that allow you to set up affiliate stores like this. And so that way you can really get started with creating some of these different opportunities and selling. It's even one of the nice things about a lot of these affiliate stores or these platforms like Deco Network has is you can even boost the sales by sharing it on social media or sharing the website online, and it helps to really get the sell and the selling of products out past your local area because you don't physically have to handle order forms to your family. You can have a uncle or an aunt that's maybe 3 states over that has Facebook that now wants to buy something to support their family members, and so that's a great way to do that as well. And so just some things to keep in mind, understanding which way you want to go with your order process and what works best for your business, but those are 2 different opportunities there. Once you've decided on your ordering process and you've kind of established the rules, the important thing next is to define the products that you're going to be selling. So you want to make sure to choose products that fit with the school that you're printing for. And so there's a lot of things to consider when you start printing and defining your products. What garments are you going to sell? What transfers are you going to do? What kind of printing are you going to do in general? Is it going to be heat transfers, or are you going to do direct screen printing? Is there embroidery? All of this really has to be built into your product selection, and this is where you as a decorator should come into the school as a expert in your field and being able to recommend the products that you know will sell best and the products that will help make them most profitable, because they're going to lean on you as a decorator to do this. You're not going to be just somebody who's selling them products in a fundraiser. You are an apparel expert, and so you want to make sure that you're helping them be as successful as possible, because in return you'll be as successful as possible in that way. So let's look at some ways to select the garments for your school fundraiser. The first thing you want to do is you want to choose a variety of sizes from youth to adult. Simply put, you don't want to leave anybody out. So you want to make sure that when you're selecting garments, you're choosing sizes that go from either youth to adult, or that you're choosing a variety of youth and adult options. This way that you can sell apparel to mom and dad, grandma and grandpa, brother and sisters, to the actual students at the school, and so that you have a huge wide range of who you can sell to. Another thing I always recommend when you're doing fundraisers is, because you're going to be taking bulk orders and then ordering everything at once, I recommend limiting your blank suppliers to 1 or 2 vendors. So when you're trying to pick a range of products, while there's some really great specialty items that might be from a specific vendor like Cavio that does a lot of ladies apparel, you may want to limit to Cavio and 1 other apparel vendor, because as you start to expand the options of the vendors that you're using, then you have to order from multiple vendors, you have extra freight costs, and so it helps you to save money if you do, if you can find blanks that fit the fundraiser from just 1 or 2 suppliers. You also want to limit, so this will be confusing, but you want to limit your blank garment selection for the actual sale to 5 to 7 items. And so when you present your products that are available to the school, you're going to go into the school with more than just 5 to 7 items. You're going to let them see the full range of what you have to offer. But once you show them what you can offer, it's then time for you and the school to work together to pare down 5 to 7 items that are going to sell the best for that school, because they'll know their demographic, you'll know the apparel side of it and what tends to sell well to different markets. You can collaborate, work together to create one great sell of 5 to 7 items. And you want to make sure you're including a wide range of items. Do not go into the school with nothing but t-shirts and sweatshirts. You want to make sure that you're setting yourself up for selling multiple items to one person. So, you know, if you've ever bought anything from a fundraiser, I'm a big component of the cookie dough fundraisers, and so I'm not just going to get the chocolate chip, I'm also going to get the white chocolate macadamia nut and maybe oatmeal raisin. You want to sell multiple types to one person, and so while one person may want 2 t-shirts, they're much more likely to want an outfit. So you want to select a t-shirt, a pair of sweatpants, a sweatshirt, maybe a matching bag. So a wide range of items for the school and what they'll be selling. So you want to make sure you have that included in your offering. You want to make it relevant to the demographic. This is really important for fundraisers. If your fundraiser is going to be to a wide range of people, so youth to adult, then you're going to want to make sure you have an option for each demographic. Likewise, if you're doing a fundraiser that's going to be highly targeted at maybe a female audience, you want to make sure it's relevant to that demographic. If it's for children, you want to make sure you have a wide range of children's apparel as well. And so keep that in mind always whenever you're selecting garments for fundraisers, events, anything, you're making it relevant to the people that are going to be targeted and buying these products. You also want to consider how to leverage one blank with multiple decoration. So you're going to set up a variety of designs, and we'll talk here shortly about designs, decoration, and all of that. But you want to consider, can I use this white ladies t-shirt and present it as an option with 3 different decoration? That way I'm able to order in bulk a ton of shirts and then just change out the decoration. So that's one thing to also consider as you're presenting your offering for school fundraisers. Next, let's talk a little bit about selecting decoration or selecting designs for your school fundraiser. So you want to determine first the type of decoration that you want to use for your designs. You're assuming you're going to be doing a lot of bulk ordering, and so being able to print with stock designs, maybe with screen printed transfers or direct screen printing, is one direct option. this is going to be really beneficial for when you have those orders. It's 150 of one t-shirt or 150 of one design on different items. That to me is really where screen printed transfers will come in play and help make you very successful with this, because if you're allowing them to have the option of taking 3 different designs and placing it on maybe 5 different shirts, then you can order each design in 150 pieces or in 200 pieces and then go ahead and customize the garment based on the order that you're getting. So it helps to really allow you to efficiently be able to print for school fundraisers. You may also decide that you want to offer customization, and so that's another opportunity that we'll see here in the sample of ways you can present this opportunity. If you're going to offer customization, then you may want to consider doing heat transfer vinyl and vinyl cutting for your customization at the heat press. And so that gives you a really cost-effective way to easily change out personalization, maybe add additional cost for personalization onto items for the school fundraiser. The next thing to consider is simplifying your color selection for efficiency. This really comes down to the ink color or the color of your design, because if you're going to be cutting these out of vinyl cut materials, then being able to only have to stock 2 different rolls and order large rolls will be really helpful. If you are doing this in ink transfers with screen printed transfers, if you can limit and simplify your color selection, then it'll allow you to do what we call gang sheeting, which you can actually gang up multiple designs on one sheet and then get some cost efficiency there as well. So some benefits there to definitely simplifying your color selection. You also want to offer matte and specialty finishes. So this is where I present the good, better, best option. So you want to be able to provide them with that high-end specialty finish. If you're doing spirit wear, and you've seen this fall spirit wear guide that we recently did on Stahls TV here and on Facebook Live, then you've seen that glitter, foil, some of these specialty effects are really great eye-catching finishes. You want to include these in your school fundraiser because they're going to be the opportunity for you to make the most profit. Those higher-end garments, those high specialty finishes, you don't want to disclude them, because the school may tell you that that's what's going to sell the best because that's what they like the most. Is some of those high-end items. Now you may see some schools that want some of the basics, and so that's why it's important to show them that you can do both matte finishes and specialty, and you're not leaving money on the table there. Another thing with design and decoration that I recommend is utilizing the mascot logo in different ways for unique and unified artwork across the blanks. As we dive into the presentation here more, I'm going to show you how to use this, but you're going to have a mascot logo, you're going to have artwork that's created for one piece of artwork. You want to use that completely across different designs. So using that mascot head throughout different designs, so it creates unified blanks, but also makes an easy way for you to create quickly different types of artwork for the school. Likewise, as I talked a little bit about using the same artwork across multiple blanks, this is where something like a screen printed transfer can be really valuable, because I can order the same artwork in a larger quantity and then just customize multiple blanks throughout my decoration for my samples. So we've selected our garments, we've selected our artwork and decorations. The next thing we're going to do is create our presentation. And so this is really where you're going to create a customizable presentation that you're going to deliver to the school, outlining the offering, establishing expectations, showing them the product offering that you have. And so you want to make something relevant that's going to be easy for you to go ahead into the school and be able to customize it. So if I'm selling to, let's say I want to present this to 12 schools in my regional area, I want to make sure that I am able to quickly create a presentation that's customizable without having to go and do a ton of back work. So creating a template like this where you can go ahead and just take it to the school, change out the name, change out the designs, and then present the offering to them. So this would be a great example of a sample letter that is available in the presentation. And in that download that I showed you earlier on the class from stahls.tv.com, you will see a full presentation that includes this sample letter as well as more. It's done in PowerPoint, so you can easily go in, edit the letter, you can edit the sample garments. I'll actually just click out of here real quick so I can show you guys again where that was if you've just recently tuned in. So This document is going to be available on stahlstv.com. If you just go under the Resources and Online Resources tab and scroll down, you will notice a file called Fundraising with T-shirts. It's free to download for all Stahls TV members. And so you're able to go ahead and download these resources. So this here is where you're going to see that flash sale PowerPoint that, like I said, is fully editable. It's going to have all the similar information that I'm giving you here, but you can customize it for your shop. Okay, so this is an example of the sample letter that's included in that presentation. So this is where you would kind of present the offering to the school. Here you're seeing that I'm basically saying that we need to establish a start and end date, and then it's going to need to be announced for your school. If you're going to give them a website, or if you're going to do the flash sale through order forms and all of that, then you're going to let them know that as well. Here I'm saying it's a 10 to 14 day periods recommended for the sale, so allowing them to choose the dates that works best, but letting them know here's the start date, here's the end date for the sale. After that, it's going to take X amount of time for me to process the orders. Here's some things on how we'll be handling processing orders and payments. Here's how the commission structure works. So this allows you to show the school how much they can make as they continue to sell more. And so I would recommend going within this range of 15 to 35% of your sales. I would cap it at 35% because that's going to continue to still be able to make a profit without actually having to go through, without having to give up more margins than you need to. So it's still really profitable for both of you. Here I'm telling them, here's what payments are going to be accepted, and then also if they want to purchase samples to be able to provide to the school to be able to help sell garments, maybe display them somewhere, they can do that at 50% off. So basically the cost of you producing it. Okay, so once you have that letter outlined, you're going to show them your selection. So this is where I talked a little bit about being able to use different types of artwork, different garments to create a selection. So you want to make sure you're offering a range of items. This is where I would go to the school and I would say, here's the ladies and girls items that I have available. I have a basic white t-shirt with the mascot logo. I have a hoodie with a mascot logo. I have a pair of yoga pants with a mascot logo. And then I have a more fashionable garment. And that fashionable garment that has the lace on it may have a glitter or a foil effect. So it kind of shows you a wide range of items. If you plan on showing personalization, here you can see a great way where they can actually personalize their specific saying to their school or to their group. And so that's another great way to do that as well. So I'm showing them a range. You can see with the clip art, I'm actually using that same mascot logo throughout multiple items. So I'm making it look uniformed. I'm using the same color. So I've only used 2 different colors, well, 3 different colors, including the glitter of heat transfer vinyl or screen print ink on this. So I'm making it more streamlined in my color selection. I'm making it more streamlined in the items I'm offering. And this is where I would say, okay, I recommend picking 2 to 3 items for a ladies or girls market that you want to sell to. So the school can make that recommendation. Once they select those items, we may take a look at what's available for a male market. And so here I have, again, a basic 100% cotton t-shirt for kind of my low-end item. I have some more high-end performance wear t-shirts. I have a pair of shorts. I have a hoodie. So again, uniforming. So I want to be able to give these people an opportunity to purchase more than one product. And so you want to be the expert that's going to recommend to them, you know, you should probably consider adding a sweatshirt or a pair of pants. This is going to make you the most successful because you're going to be the one who they're going to be leaning on for that kind of expertise. Accessories. You don't want to leave accessories off as well. So bags, iPad cases, tablet cases, anything like this that you know students will be using at school or teachers or parents may want to carry to events. Those are all things that you want to make sure to include as well. The next thing you want to do is you want to suggest the items for their custom sale. So when you go in with that presentation with those last 3 slides that I just showed you, you're basically saying, here's what I have to offer. What works best for your customer base? And this is where the PTO leader or the booster leader may say, we have a lot of females that buy spirit wear, but not a lot of males. Or we have a lot of students that buy spirit wear, but we don't anticipate a lot of adults. So it'll help you pick the garments that work best. I would recommend picking a couple different blanks, that fit for them, maybe an accessory. So again, I'm limiting this to the 5 to 7 items, trying to keep it concise so that way they can sell multiple products and I can offer multiple finishes, kind of a wide range of what fits for them. And so you want to make sure that you're making sure they're including something beyond t-shirts, picking something for everybody who they're anticipating to sell to. That'll help make them more successful. And then also pairing items together so that they're able to get the outfits that can increase the sale. The next thing you want to do is you want to help them to promote this. So making them successful will in turn make you successful. So you want to provide them with everything that you possibly can to help make them successful in their fundraising efforts. And so one thing for sure is to provide sales flyers and order forms. If you are doing a paper order process, you want to make sure they have ample sales flyers that can easily hand out to anybody they need to make copies of, and you want to create those documents for them because it's going to help them sell. And that's part of the package that you should be providing, is some simple sample order forms or sales flyers. You can easily create these kind of things from Word documents. Transfer Express, if you haven't visited transferexpress.com, they actually have a order form created for school fundraisers that you can download as well. Another tool that I use is Canva, C-A-N-V-A. It's a great way to make sales flyers very quickly or order forms very quickly without having to have a ton of design knowledge. So if design as far as flyers and print pieces is not your thing, that's a great tool to use as well. Once you have some sales flyers, you also want to be able to provide posters for them to hang in the school to drive awareness. So you want to be able to provide ways for them to continue to sell more products. So make people as aware as possible. Posters, banners, anything they can pass out or hang up at an event or around the school or at a football game. That's all going to be important as well to driving awareness. If you're able to, I'd recommend creating samples for them to display on site and at events. 2 ways to do this. You can provide the samples to them. You can simply say, as part of the fundraising package, I'm going to provide 1 garment each of these 7 items so that you can display them and sell them. Or you can even say, I'll allow you the opportunity. Here's best practices. You'll probably sell more items if you can have samples to show. So I'll allow you to purchase as many samples as you need at 50% off. You want to make sure whatever you decide to do is profitable for you, and if you are giving them the samples for free, you're including that into your cost of the program. And so just so you're able to make the profit that you need on this and you're not giving away any margin. The other thing to do is to provide links, images, anything they can do to promote this on social media, especially if you're using an affiliate store. That's where I had recommended that using a site like Deco Network, if you're going to be doing a lot of these different fundraising stores, will easily allow you to create links where people can share the store link, purchase their products. And so being able to provide anything like that for them that they can use online. We know students sell a lot of products through social media. You may even make recommendations to them as far as them taking pictures of the order form, taking pictures of the flyer, and posting that to their Facebook page for friends and family to be aware of the sale. Even if you're not able to provide an affiliate store where they can go and purchase online, it's still a great way to get awareness out, and then they can work together with family members and friends to coordinate shipping of products and collecting money and all of that as well. So that'll help them get started with promoting their products and selling. There you want to make sure that you have everything available that makes it easy for them to sell. The last thing that you're going to do is simply produce and deliver the items that you're selling. And so this is where you're going to commit to a certain turnaround. You're going to produce them, you're going to deliver them. You want to make this as seamless as possible for everybody involved when you're producing and delivering for school fundraisers, and you want to establish this with the school on how they want this done. So one thing with fundraisers, if you've ever been involved with them, is you know that for the booster leader they can be challenging as far as distributing products. And so you may want to go a step further in your service and delivery, and you may want to be responsible for packaging items together based on who they belong to. So if they can provide you the order forms for each individual, then that gives you the opportunity to say, here are the orders for John Smith, here are all of the orders packaged together in this clear bag or in this box for you know, Joe Schmo, whoever else is involved. That's going to allow you to basically really limit any headaches and become kind of a go-to decorator for them, where they're thinking, wow, this was such a seamless process. I didn't have to go through and sort through, you know, 500 blank garments and see who got largest, who got mediums. Packaging it and producing it and delivering in a way that makes it easy for them. I'd recommend creating a one-stop pickup where either you drop them all off on the school and you meet the booster person there, or if you want to, you could always go to have them come to your location to pick everything up as well. But establishing that early on is important, and making it as seamless and as comfortable as possible for the person that is doing the fundraiser. And so it just helps to really make it a profitable and successful venture for everybody involved. And most importantly, it's something that they'll want to continue to do year in and year out, because really once you establish one school or one organization and you have one successful fundraising opportunity, then the referrals and the recommendations continue to just flow in, because people are really excited to get started into this. And so I'm going to take a couple questions here as we start to get towards the end of the presentation. If there's things I haven't covered that you're interested in, I know I had a couple come in on GoToWebinar as well as Facebook throughout today's presentation. Jimmy, do I have a few from GoTo?
Yeah, we have a couple. One question Wayne had was one of the schools that's near him is relatively large, and every time he goes to the website, he'll see Jostens ads or other big companies on the website, and he just wants to know, is there any way you can actually get that job from that school, you know, competing with the larger companies out there?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So how do you compete with large companies that are already doing fundraising? I think really what it comes up to is, well, first off, are they doing fundraising? Are they allowing them the opportunity to make profit off of their school spiritware, or are they just printing their spiritware? There's a big advantage to being able to want to switch providers if you're able to make a profit off of it. And so that's one thing to consider looking at. Also, can you offer something that's a little bit more different? Maybe it's the service where you're going to individually package and deliver everything and make it easy for them as far as order taking and distributing those orders. Maybe it's the blanks that you're offering and the decoration that you're offering, being able to differentiate yourself from them. And I think you'll find that a lot of schools are open to looking at other vendors. Likely they just stick with what they know because it's something they've been comfortable with and they haven't had any challenges. And the people that are making these decisions are, again, they are booster leaders, they are football moms. This is not their primary business to go out and source spiritware, and so they're open to people coming in and saying, I have a better opportunity for you, but they're not traditionally going to go out and look for that themselves because it's just not what they're doing day to day. They're comfortable with staying with what they have because it's worked. And so being able to establish that profit opportunity for them and show them what they can make with your shop can help to kind of leverage that as well.
All right, thank you for that, Courtney. The next question we have is from Patricia, and she said that Josh mentioned a website called Inksoft for creating online stores for your sales. Is it also good for fundraising?
Yeah, so Inksoft is another platform that allows you to be able to create different website stores, affiliate stores, and things as well. So it's another platform to look at in addition to Deco Network.
Okay, another one we have is, can glitter flake be used with a screen printed transfer?
Yes, so the question was, can glitter flake be mixed with screen printed transfers for maybe a mixed media look on school fundraising apparel? Yes, it can be. I'd recommend the glitter flake also touching the fabric. So as you're creating that screen printed transfer, if you can keep a knockout area where the glitter is going to either punch through or maybe add that glitter flake personalization, you can do the two together. You just want to make sure both of them are touching the fabric.
Okay, and then another one that we have is Paris said most of the schools where they're located have a minimum they want to spend and they prefer to set their own prices. How can I motivate them to sell more without being able to do the commission percentage idea that you mentioned?
So that's one of those things where they want to set I assume they want to set the prices for their spiritware and what they're willing to pay. So that is one of those things where you'd have to just work out the opportunity. You may be able to show them how much more they can make if they sell for a certain price, and you're able to give them that certain percentage versus them setting their pricing, because they, like I had mentioned earlier, they may be downgrade. They may, because they don't know the industry as well, they may be leaving money on the table for their organization and not being able to make enough profit, as much profit as they could be if they sell it at a higher dollar amount and be able to get the commission off of it. And so that's one thing, is just showing them the profit opportunity and the difference between those two.
Yeah, I think that's about it, Courtney. Thank you.
Okay, great. So it looks like those are all the questions from GoToWebinar. I had a couple come in on Facebook. And so one was, any chance to obtain a step-by-step process on how to actually create a webinar for a website for a school to order from me? We don't have anything here from a step-by-step process, but I do know that Deco Network has some resources where they can show you how to create a website for a school to be able to set up those affiliate stores. So that's one place I would go for that. I know they do some webinars and some different presentations and videos that can help you do that. And then the PowerPoint and the presentation from today, if you're watching this recorded or if you're watching this currently live, is available on stahlstv.com, also under that online resources tab. If you're on Facebook, you can actually click the link below and you can get the full PowerPoint presentation today. So look forward to seeing you guys for more Stahls TV broadcast. Hopefully you've learned a little bit about some school fundraisers, and I look forward to helping you guys be more successful in your business moving forward. Thanks for joining me.